What's good? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. I am Wayno. How are y'all feeling today? Let me tell y'all something. I am feeling great. The month of December is starting off on the right foot for me. You know what I'm saying? I feel confident. I don't feel weary. I feel extremely optimistic, and I'm looking forward to the new year. With that being said, you know what I need from y'all? Hit them subs, you feel me? Hit them likes and run up that hype if you like what it is that I do over here on this channel. Now let's get into it. Meg the Stallion versus Milagro. Feel me? This has been going on for some time. Meg the Stallion is not the most popular to people in a favorable side, depending on what corner of the internet you pointing at and asking how they feel. You have a lot of people who feel like Meg unjustly put Tory Lanez in prison. You feel me? You have people who feel like Meg, she was the one that was done wrong from beginning day. You feel me? Like, and the people who have their minds made up, that shit is not never going to change. People who have their minds made up don't need convincing, you feel me? But it's always going to be this clash. It's always going to be this clash. But this situation in particular with with Milagro, it should be a lesson to a lot. Now, y'all remember a couple of years ago, Cardi B, you know what I'm saying, she won a defamation case against Tasha K, where she owes Cardi B $3 million, I believe. When I be seeing Tasha K doing overtime, making content, saying all types of crazy shit and putting up rumors without any type of confirmation, it shows me that she's trying to pay that bill back because this shit is serious. And it makes me wonder what's going to happen in the future to people who are bloggers or people who call themselves journalists and all of that shit that partake in just spreading rumors or allegations. Now, let's go into what Milagro was accused of. It says that she spreaded false and defamatory claims against Megan, including labeling Megan a paid surrogate of Tory Lanez and questioning the legitimacy of the shooting. Like I said, there's tons of people who have questioned the legitimacy of the shooting. And during this trial, the conversation that came up about from my peers, some people that I know is just like, yo, but a lot of people were saying that, right? So is she gonna go at every single person? And I don't know if it's just that. Milagro is from Texas, right? So I do feel like there's some underlying issues there because she's from Texas. I mean, I don't know not necessarily the backstory, the deeper meanings, or you know that shit that people be trying to run with. If they had problems back in the day, if they got mutuals, and if she just overall felt like she was disrespected and wanted to teach her a lesson. Because we're going to talk about what she has been granted or awarded from this win in the situation. She also promoted a deep fake porn video involving Megan. Now, that's another thing. Yo, one thing about the internet currently right now, I mean, if you pay enough attention to the internet, then you could really see, you know, the deep fakes, or see how, you know what I'm saying, see how a lot of this AI shit is bogus and fake. But for the person who doesn't pay no mind to none of that, it's a dangerous space because it's only going to get worse. I ain't gonna lie. It's only going to get worse. We're only going to see more and more and more situations where people use other people's likeness to do whatever they want with it, right? And it says, according to the lawsuit, you know what I mean, the campaign included cyber stalking, harassment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Basically saying she was trying to ruin her ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I ain't gonna lie, man. And this don't go for all women. It don't go for all women. But a lot of the female empowerment shit be fake. You know, you feel me? Because it be situations like this that happen on a grand scale and a billion of them that happen on a lower scale that y'all don't know about. But anyway, she's reported to have deleted more than 20,000 messages, which is fucking crazy, between iMessage, WhatsApp, Instagram, and Discord, you know what I mean, after the lawsuit began, which raised concerns, you know what I mean, during the court ordered discovery. It says that Grams, you know what I mean, was liable for defamation. You know, the outcome was she was liable for the defamation of emotional distress and promotion of altered sexual depiction, the deep fake video. Now, we know that this revenge porn shit is a real thing, right? Like, if you break up with somebody, if you have a difference with them, and you got some of their explicit content, you can't, like, you use that, they damn near trying to put your ass in jail for it. You feel me? They damn near trying to put you in jail. And you know, if your ass is naked, you need to cover up. And if you need to cover up, you need to get you some Wayno merch. This is an idea that was in my mind, and then I communicated it to the person who does my logos, and I told them, and we got this. Then it went from
me having a logo to put on my channel to me actually having product. And that's why I'm doing this. And then we got the Family First edition is to basically solidify that blood makes you related. A bond makes you family, you feel me? And with this Family First piece, when you get one of these, just know that when I start doing this live, if you purchase the Family First piece, then that gives you perks at the live show. You know what I mean? You might get a discount on the tickets, all that. So my whole idea for doing this, man, was to just inspire others that if you have an idea, if you have a thought, if you have something, you know, that you're working on or want to work on and you might be frightened about it, you might be, you know, second guessing or doubting yourself, don't. Just do it. You know what I mean? I'll do it myself.
Well, really, I meant I'll do it myself merch, but it is via Wayno119.com. Hit that up. You know what I mean? Y'all orders will go out this week. I promise y'all that. Now, it says that initially the jury rewarded $75,000 in damages, and under the court adjustment, the final reward is $59,000. But it's also saying that nobody really knows the exact, you know what I mean, the exact amount. Now, this is what I think, right? Well, not basically what I think, but also while Meg was on the stand, she was asked about doing something with Call of Duty. They tried to call her out about knowing what a skin is. She said she didn't know what a skin was. I just think that when you try to pick apart like a small thing to make it into something bigger, her asking, did she know what a skin was? And then she says no. And then they show her a tweet that she added the people from Activision, I believe, and was like, yo, make me a skin of COD, as to her lying about stuff. I think that that shit is mad petty. Like, I don't believe that she did know what the skin was. I believe that probably somebody from her team tweeted that shit. But she was supposed to get a skin in Call of Duty. Now, let's keep it all the way fucking 1,000. Y'all know damn well if there would have been a skin of Meg Thee Stallion in Call of Duty, a game where it's all about shooting and killing, y'all could just imagine the amount of memes. So for the people who feel like, you know, oh, she's lying and this, that, and the third. Listen, man, you can't imagine the type of emotional distress that will cause a person. You know what I mean? To be going through a case where somebody shot you, you know what I mean? The world not believing you, not going with it. And then you have a skin that comes out in a game where people get to shoot you. That would have been like the worst timing ever. I think even if they would have cut the deal, they would have had to go back to Activision and give them back the bread, because that shit would have been disgusting. Now, what does it mean today about, you know what I'm saying, about this situation regarding her and Milagro for bloggers? I think that, I'll just say this for myself. I create content and videos around topics that I feel are important, are, you know, of course, good things to talk about, things that are gonna move the needle in news, and just give my own opinion on it, because that's what I did on Everyday Struggle, and that's how I learned how to do this shit, you feel me? But I also think that when you get into the space of just views, right? Because that's the shit that everybody thinks, like everybody's just doing shit for views, which on some sort of level that is actually right. People are doing and creating content because they want it to be viewed. But when you start playing games about things that you heard happen without having any actual context to it, you feel me? Now, you can talk about it. You can say, yeah, I heard that happen, but I don't know. But you cannot take a definitive position on that shit, because this situation right here is going to change the internet in a lot of different ways. I know y'all probably like, oh, Meg Thee Stallion, she ain't that important. She ain't nobody. I can understand why y'all feel that way, but I do believe that this shit is going to change the internet for the better and for the worse. On one hand, you know what I'm saying, you are going to be able to talk about topics that are news, right? Like, I think that everybody has the opportunity to talk about something that's in the news, no different than if you standing outside and I'm standing outside and I start to film and you feel a way about me filming, I could I could easily say, well, I'm on a public street. You know what I'm saying? There is no rule against me filming being on a public street if you're in public, because there is no protection of privacy in public, something like that, right? But I think that it's gonna make a lot of people move a little bit more cautiously. Now, we do understand that, like, niggas clout chase. That's just a fact. I feel like you can make up a lot of different things and just tell stories, and they don't have to be accurate. If you tell that shit with conviction and you look at the camera long enough and you put that I got five on it, the us beat on that shit, people believe it. You know what I mean? People believe in all types of conspiracy theories. I think because most people don't have a lens into the music industry or just entertainment period, that they want to believe everything is bad. That is a fact. People want to believe that things are bad and bad things is happening behind the scenes as always, as opposed to what the person who's running the situation says, right? Like, for instance, I'm not even gonna use that because I don't even want to bring that up. But y'all know, y'all get what I mean. Now let's go back to the impact that this had on Meg. It says that in her testimony, Meg said the online campaign caused her serious emotional and mental distress, leading her to vivid despair. She described the time where she didn't care if she lived or died. Excuse me. She also claimed the smear campaign cost her multiple brand deals worth over $1 million, a direct hit to her career beyond personal harm. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. Whether it is what they saying, 59,000, 75,000 or whatever, I don't believe that Milagro has that to just pay. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I don't think that she has that to just pay. And I do also feel like if y'all supported her, like all the people that supported Milagro, I believe, Act was supporting her at one point in time. Who else? Aiden Ross. Shit, chip in. The same way when somebody catch a technical foul on a team and nigga be like, I pay it. Like, I think Luka just did that. Luka just did that for he just did that for somebody that caught a technical foul for him, saying that he would pay their fine. Pay that fine for her because, this is the thing. There definitely needs to be a motherfucking line drawn in the sand on integrity on how people report. People report on any and everything. Trust and believe, if you got some bullshit going on in the public, even if something was to happen to me publicly where I get locked up or something happens, people are going to talk about that. If something happens with me professionally, people are going to talk about that. That's just the way things go, right? With you being a certain individual, you have to be able to protect, what it is about you that people know or they don't. I'm always a person that follows the rule of police only know the questions that was answered. They could ask anything, they could say anything, but they only gonna know what was answered. So if you don't give people some sort of scope or some sort of view into your lifestyle, then they won't believe these things. Now, as fucked up as it is, I believe that people might have believed that that sex tape that was put out on Megan was real because of her dating history. You know what I'm saying? Because we seen her publicly date multiple men. Now, here's the thing. A lot of y'all gonna say, especially the women, she a woman, she got the right to do what she want. And I won't even dispute that. I won't dispute the fact that a woman has the right to date whomever she wants when she wants. But you also can't make people look at you the way you look at yourself. You feel me? Because I feel like a lot of people move the goalposts in that sense, right? Like, it's okay for a woman to be doing that type of shit until it's your daughter. Then it's, I wouldn't want my daughter to do that shit. Until it's your cousin. Until your cousin is that type of woman and y'all shame her for being that type of woman, or a former friend. If a former friend acts or dates multiple men and puts that out there, y'all like, what is she doing? But as soon as somebody that's an artist does it, it's, no, you can't do that. She got the right to do. You know damn well, and a lot of y'all know what y'all would be willing to do versus what y'all want publicly. That's why y'all don't do certain shit. So I'm just saying, you can't really shun people for how they may look at her based on her past. That is public. If the shit public, niggas gonna talk about it. Unfortunately, y'all see the situation with dude that went to the Sacramento Kings game, right? Now he's sitting behind the bench at a game that he paid to be at, and he's downright arguing with Zach Randolph, right? Like not Zach Randolph, excuse me, Zach LaVine. He damn near outright cursing Zach LaVine out. You ain't playing no defense. Now, his right as a person and as a fan to be there, he could say what he want. But the thing about saying what you want is that you have to be held accountable for the things that you say. And that is the situation directly with this Milagro chick. You feel me? I think though that, she, for some reason, may have thought that nothing was going to happen. Shit is going to change, and a lot more artists are going to start coming after bloggers and personalities, period, because we just in a sensitive ass time. There was one point in time where if you was a radio personality or a blogger, something like that, somebody would just catch you, whoop your ass, and then pay the fee. Now, to avoid all that, they're like, no, we're just going to sue you, and you going to pay me the fee. So expect for this shit to change. How do y'all feel about this though, specifically? I mean, this situation, this one said situation with Meg the Stallion, let's let's add the fact that people are extremely biased, you know what I'm saying, to the situation and won't look at both sides on any level. You know what I mean? Won't look at both sides on any level. I feel like that law, that space where people get to talk about salacious shit and talk, you know, with crazy conviction about what people have done versus what they don't. It is a very, very lucrative space, but it's a dangerous place. That shit is like running across the highway for $1 million. Like if a nigga told you, yo, listen, I got 5 M's for you if you can cross a highway during rush hour. Well, not rush hour, but like a busy time. Somebody's gonna contemplate, I can make it across. And shit, you might make it halfway over there. You actually might make it halfway over there. You know what I'm saying? But if you do get injured, y'all know who y'all should call, right? If you want to be the best rapper, you gotta have the best bars. Just like Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. They gotten over $25 billion with more than 500,000 clients. And the results speak for themselves. A client in Pennsylvania got $29 million after being offered only $500,000. Another client in Florida got $20 million after being offered $0. Morgan & Morgan been fighting for the people for over 35 years. It's like hiring a legal army that's always going to ride for you. If you get injured by somebody else's negligence, then you deserve to be paid. Not all law firms is created equal. Hiring the wrong one could cost you. If you get injured, you could check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. I like that one. I fuck with that. But nah, if you do run halfway over there, you know what could possibly happen. You could lose everything. And that's the game of the internet, man. You got everything to gain, but you also got everything to lose. This is how I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually will. Make sure that if you do watch me here, and you might not want to go through all the same ads that YouTube puts up because I don't place the YouTube ads. So when y'all be telling me, yo, it's 5 and 6 and 7 ads, I don't be knowing because I don't place the YouTube ads. But if you want to watch some stuff that goes directly straight all the way through, you could go onto my Apple. You know what I mean? You can find me on Apple for podcasts, and I'll do it myself, all your favorite episodes. Well, we starting to get all your favorite episodes up there because I got a heavy catalog. But then we also will be putting, you know, Come Home With Me is going to be there as well. For the ones that rock with me, know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually will. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.